Growing a beard is something most teenagers and men try and do at some point in their lives. Nowadays, beards are making a comeback in terms of style and popularity, and growing a nice beard can certainly enhance your overall appearance by adding some style, personality, and some mystery. The only problem is the awkward beard stage. The awkward beard stage is a time frame early on in a man's beard growing journey when the beard hairs that he is growing are too long to really be considered stubble, but too short to actually fill out the beard. And this can kind of make the beard look a little unfinished and awkward. And this usually occurs between 2 and 4 weeks after a man decides to stop shaving and to grow out a beard. And you can usually tell that a beard is in the awkward growth stage by a few things. The first one is that the mustache is usually not going to be connected well enough to the beard, simply because the mustache hasn't had enough time to grow out the sides. The second one is patchy sides of your beards here on your cheeks. And the third symptom of an awkward beard stage could be actually a bit confusing, that is having an itchy beard. But this is for reasons that we're going to talk about more in depth later. So how can you avoid the awkward beard stage? Well, if you decide to grow a beard and you're maybe suffering with this stage yourself, then there are 3 things you're going to want to keep in mind. And with these tips, you can either manage or mitigate altogether the symptoms that I talked about earlier. And this should help make you and your beard more comfortable in the process so that you can get through the awkward stage without much hassle. And tip number 1 is to avoid trimming your beard too soon. It's really easy to get discouraged, especially if your beard isn't coming out the way you want it to. And I can guarantee you, anyone who has experienced the awkward beard stage, pretty much anyone with a beard, will tell you that during this stage your beard is never going to come out exactly the way you want. It's simply too soon. The truth is, unless you're dead set on a specific style that you're trying to grow your beard out for, then you're not really going to know what kind of potential your beard has in the first place if you keep trimming it off. And it would help you to recognize that this is pretty much an unavoidable part of the process of growing a beard and something that's very natural and happens to everyone. There's really nothing unusual about you if you happen to grow a beard that you feel is awkward. So do yourself a favor and just don't shave it yet. Tip number 2 is to do what you can to avoid the itchiness of your beard. Itchiness and discomfort is actually one of the main reasons people avoid growing beards in general, but it's not something that you have to deal with, and it's something that is totally manageable. First of all, itchiness doesn't have to be the sign of an awkward beard. It can be the sign of just a dry beard in general, and itchiness of any kind is always going to be remedied with some high quality beard oil or beard balm. And secondly, like I mentioned before, itchiness is going to come about during that awkward beard stage when the beards are long enough to curve back in on themselves. And the remedy for this is very simple. You're still going to want to use your beard oil and beard balm, but you're also going to want to use a beard comb or a beard brush. What this does is it not only helps keep your hair flat and going in the right direction, but it also pulls out the hairs that can potentially become ingrown or even more irritating. And then after brushing or combing your beard, use a beard softening product like that beard oil or that beard balm I mentioned earlier to really help soften up the hair so they don't feel as stiff and scratchy. And this is likely to cause way less irritation than you were feeling before, whether or not your beard was dry, especially during the awkward beard phase. For example, something I always use in tandem with each other is the Octo Brush by Volt, as well as Volt's Beard Balm. This combination of products gives me what I feel like is the best combination of exfoliating my beard and getting rid of all the skin cells and debris and anything that may be in my beard, as well as softening and styling my beard like a beard balm will do. And my last tip for you guys is to be patient. If it's not for the beard oil or the beard balm or anything like that, things that you generally will need if you want to grow a beard in the first place, then the best thing I can tell you guys to do is to be patient in your beard growing journey, especially when you get to that 2 to 3 or 4 week stage when beards tend to be a little awkward. This is easier said than done, like most things, because trust me, I know how exhausting and irritating it can be to not be happy with the way your beard is, especially if you're growing it, and especially for the first time. However, I can guarantee you that leaving your beard alone for at least a month is going to do you wonders in terms of seeing what your beard's potential is. And then at the end of this time frame, you can really start making the decision whether to keep or cut. If you, for whatever reason, absolutely feel like you cannot just keep your beard as awkward as it is, or during that stage, or you don't want to wait any longer with your beard being the way it is, there is a way to get around it. It's just going to take more time. And the trick is to trim the longest parts of your beard to match the shortest parts of your beard. By matching the lengths, you're not only going to get rid of the awkward look simply because everything is going to look more even, more consistent. And not only that, but you can do that at any time in the process. And you don't have to trim these sides that are shorter, and those sides are eventually going to grow out, meaning that your beard will grow eventually. It's just going to take much longer than if you were to leave the entire thing untouched for that time. Ultimately, that's going to be your best bet in terms of getting past that awkward growth stage without having your beard really look awkward at all. So hopefully I gave you guys some good tips and some good perspective here when it comes to growing a beard past that awkward growth stage that most people tend to give up on. I'll have links to all those products if you want to learn a little bit more about them and what they do down in the description below. And feel free to let us know in the comments what your favorite beard product is, how it works for you, or if there's any kind of specific tips that you have that have helped you get through that awkward beard growth stage. We got tons more videos coming up for you guys on this channel, so feel free to hit like and subscribe, as well as a bunch of really cool, entertaining short videos that we have coming out. Hopefully we were able to give you some hope and get past this awkward beard stage as easily as possible. And I will see you in the next video.